Next on the parade, literally the parade, we got the Dixieland Brass Band. I'm not kidding, folks. Taz introduced the new FTW champion, Ricky Starks. And as we all remember, the FTW title is what Taz created for himself in ECW, and Paul Heyman got it over because he was pushing Taz as a badass. I've got my own title, and he was in the mix, and everything was great. And then, because Tony Khan's a mark for 90s ECW, Taz brought the belt, and Tony mentioned it 4 months ago, and they put it on Brian Cage, and then didn't do anything else with it. And then a couple weeks ago, they thought, oh, wait, the FTW title. And then they've turned Cage babyface. He's the most ill-fitting babyface I've ever seen against Ricky Starks, who just won the FTW title from Cage when the rest of Team Taz turned on Brian Cage. Did I actually summarize that in a sensible fashion?
Yeah, in a sense.
That's about what happened. So here comes Starks, and there's a Dixieland brass band wearing FTW shirts around the ring.
He's from New Orleans.
Yes, because Starks is from New Orleans, so therefore, but here's the problem. Yes, this is preposterous, but at least the WWE would have called New Orleans and gotten a goddamn Dixieland brass band from New Orleans. This was, I don't know if they were really playing, some of them may have been really playing the instruments, but the other guys, I wrote before they even got attacked, these guys look like job guys. It wasn't great musicianship. They were a bunch of guys wearing T-shirts. They didn't have the Dixieland band outfits on. And the point I'm making is WWE would have spent the money, put it in the budget. They'd had a professional band out there. It would have actually looked like something, even if it was preposterous. But instead, they had job guys playing a fucking tuba and somebody that apparently knew enough of how to play their instrument to keep them on some type of beat. But it sounded kind of like the fucking band in goddamn the Andy Griffith Show, the Mayberry Town Marching Band. Hold on.
What was that?
Had a fly. Anyway, so Hook was tagging along with Starks in a white wife beater and a goddamn, and they said Hobbs was out recruiting because he's not there at all. So it made Ricky Starks, who we've talked about as a good talent, look so low rent with this clown show evolving around him. It was just outlaw. Starks did a good promo. He got whooded a little bit, but he did a good job of getting him out of it. And if any of the people that he was surrounded with in this were any good, or the booking had been any good, or anybody give a shit about the issue with the FTW belt, or Brian Cage, or Team Taz, who's never won anything except against each other, all that would have been great. But it wasn't. And then here comes fucking Cage, not Christian, but Brian Cage. You know, they got Cage, Page, and Gage. Cage comes out and he stops and beats up the band. The guy that just fucked him and has been saying all these slanderous things about him and took his belt that he was given 3 months ago is in the ring, but he wants to stop and beat up the band and then bash the bass drum over the guy's head so it sticks over his head, and you can see the guy hold his arms in and duck his head down for the prearranged spot where the drum goes over his head. And then Jim Ross, who's got to be contemplating his own suicide at this point on these fucking telecasts, just live on the air. JR said, that bass drum may have had a family. Jim Ross has made a commitment to do a job, and he has never reneged on a professional commitment that he has made, but he cannot not be embarrassed to be a part of this. And then Cage grabs one of the band's trombones and comes in the ring with the trombone, and JR says, there's no trombones in wrestling. And Starks throws a bouquet of flowers in Brian Cage's face, and he goes, and he just leaves the ring. And that was it. Help me. Try to understand what I missed here.
What you missed was this was Monday Night Raw from a previous era, maybe the current era, I'm not sure. Enough with the championship celebrations. We've seen a few of these recently. Don't need to see any more of them. I like Ricky Starks. I like Team Taz. Hook has never worked a match that I've seen or done anything else. Will Hobbs' potential. I'm not really interested in seeing Brian Cage feud with any of them, but
I'm not really interested in seeing Brian Cage. He's the worst one of the bunch. Next, we had a promo where Tanahashi spoke in subtitles. And who gave a shit? The same people that were already watching this show. Because go to the mall and scream, "That's Tanahashi!" See if anybody's head turns.